My name is Jeff Markin, and I'm the creator and co-producer of the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. In the recording of this episode, we found ourselves working with new equipment for the first time without having had the opportunity to test it, and the result was that the sound quality of this episode isn't up to the standards that we set for ourselves on Pop Culture Junkie. My first inclination was to scrap it and start over, but the fact is, there was some really good conversation in this episode, so we decided it should be released anyway. I hope the inferior sound doesn't detract too much from your enjoyment of this episode, and we will strive to do better in the future.
Fill me up with a barrel full of monkeys, as I hate being bored, I hate being bored. Load me up cause I'm such a junkie, every day all I want is more. So entertain me right now. So entertain me right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Junkie podcast. My name is Shauna, and I am joined, as always, by my fellow junkies,
Nicole and Olivia.
It is so nice to see you guys, especially now that we're in person.
I'm really enjoying looking deeply into your eyes while we speak intimately.
I know, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. It's getting a little inappropriate.
Just accept it. Thank you.
Just accept it. Shh. No words. No words, just feelings. Just feelings.
And that's Patreon exclusive.
Let it happen. Open your body to the experience.
That's why I'm sitting in the middle. Yeah.
Nicole's the buffer for the sexual tension. She's been bombarded on either side and she likes it.
I do.
All right, so that just about wraps up. No. Okay, so I've been consuming a lot of media this week, been watching a lot of shows. I want to know what you guys have been reading, watching, listening to this week. Who wants to start us off with their pop culture consumptions? That was terrible, and I'm so sorry. I'll never say that again. Consumption.
Olivia.
Nicole, what have you been into?
Okay, I'll go. Law and Order, SVU, and Organized Crime has come back.
Yes.
And I'm super excited because, as we know, I am a junkie for those shows.
Shout out to Haley the Brave.
Yes. I miss her and I miss talking to her about those. But that's what I've been consuming lately. And the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion has started. So I have been consuming that as well.
Love
which
it.
is going to be super duper juicy. I'm very excited to continue watching that. It's a 3-part and part 1 has just come out. But Law & Order SVU this season, the first episode of the new season started with this girl being kidnapped.
Okay.
And it kind of is a continuation throughout the season with other cases being presented to SVU.
That's like the overarching
so it's like a serial
big bad.
rapist. Yes. No. So it's just
Okay.
like the one girl, I believe her name was Maddie. She's just like the main case of the season, but within that, other cases are being presented randomly throughout the city of New York. But
Crime's most heinous.
yes,
Dun, dun.
yeah.
Interesting.
But Maddie has been the main person throughout the season, which they really haven't ever done, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but viewers.
With like
listeners.
one case is kind of goes
Yeah.
through, continues
Yeah,
throughout.
that was going to be my
season.
question. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
do they do that now? I thought it was always like a Criminal Minds style.
Like enemy of the week or whatever, bad guy of the week.
yeah,
kind
it's
of
like
thing.
that one
Exactly.
episode is like
Yeah.
one case.
So I kind of like that whole part because it's kind of one of those shows that's been on forever. So it's kind of like, what's something new that you can do this week?
I like that. That reminds me of
But-
like Lucifer, where there is like a crime of the week because he's helping the police force, right? So every week there is a new bad guy that Lucifer has to help the police force catch. But there's one overarching big bad throughout the whole season, which is kind of like Buffy too, right? Like
Yeah.
every episode has like a minor demon, but then there's the main bad guy too.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
So
that.
it's been really good.
All right, that's all great. That's all great, Nicole. But Stabler and Benson,
Yeah.
are they gonna
They haven't
wow chicka wow wow?
they haven't really seen each other yet.
What?
So, not yet. She's been really focused on this one case because the Maddie girl, she's seen her in a van and she saw her and she thought that she looked a little distraught, but she didn't really do anything about it. And then later that day she realized that Maddie was a girl gone missing, and Olivia's really beating herself up over it. But
good for her.
Spoiler
She's
alert.
focusing on the job. She's
Yeah.
taking care of the innocent. But I want my girl to get some. My girl. I've never seen an episode of this show, but I just
we
want.
all support Olivia Benson.
We all want
Yeah.
Olivia Benson and Stabler. What,
Yeah.
Michael Stabler.
Elliot.
I'm just throwing out I just
Close
throw out a
enough.
first name. I want them to at least smooch.
They will eventually, guys.
Haven't they
No.
already though?
They've like touched hands. They've like graced.
thought
You know what?
were
I think
together
like
for a bit.
really earlier in a season
Yeah.
they might have,
Yeah.
but not recently.
Okay.
Not anything that like stuck
Not
or
since he's
held.
come back.
Okay, maybe I'm like Mandela affecting, but I thought they already had.
I think very early on in this series when he was on Law and
Okay,
Order
so like
SVU, they
15 years
have-
ago or
yeah.
something.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need them to do it.
On camera?
It's what, like an NBC show, so
Yeah.
it'll just be.
So you
them.
need like a fade to black
gonna say,
scene
they're just-
with like the sheet over it where you're like
She wakes up and
intimately-
she's still in her bra for some reason. I'm like,
Yeah.
who fucks in their bra? He's got a collared shirt on. And they're like, well, that shirt was delightful.
fully buttoned to the top, not even
Hair-
like one
yeah, no,
unbuttoned. Like,
hair
it's just-
perfect.
He's bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. He's bald. Sure, hair is perfect. Well, that sure was delightful, Stapler. Oh, that was great, Vincent. Everyone's gonna hate me.
You're, when we were on Shauna's birthday trip, she talked like that the entire time.
Well, you know, I think we should get another shot at tequila, kids. Come one, come all to Shauna's blackout.
Yes, the entire weekend.
You loved it.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Okay, well, keep us updated, and when they boink or kiss or touch pinkies, let us know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all Shauna cares about.
Okay.
Clearly,
I mean, yes.
we'll have to figure out the old episode so it can hold you over.
I'll just put it on repeat. That 2 second clip.
Where you watch like YouTube clips of just them like kissing.
Oh, I've watched
yeah.
YouTube clips. I don't watch Euphoria, but I've seen YouTube compilations of
Of just the sex
the
scenes.
hottest scenes of Euphoria 2021. Like, oh
I
yeah.
can only imagine
That
your
makes it
search
worse.
history.
My search history is fucked.
Yeah. Like, if the FBI comes, like, if I ever randomly get accused of a crime, I'm like, do you ever think about that whenever you Google search something? You're like, that's going in the, like, she's a killer.
You know what? And good for
And
her.
it's mainly like, if someone loses a hand, will they live without, like, getting medical help?
How
Like,
many bullets can
purely-
one torso take?
Yeah, purely just out of curiosity, but like it like stacked up over time, I think it might be confusing.
Oh my God. When Jessica, my friend that I talk about all the time on the podcast, and I were in college and we were roommates, we would get bored and feel bad about ourselves. And I'm so sorry, listeners. God, this is so fucked. We would Google parasitic twins and just like look at pictures and research parasitic twins together and read it out loud and just be like, it would make us feel so thankful that we didn't have a parasitic twin. Because that's so dark. That's so dark.
Yeah.
It's like the late, my big fat Greek wedding. She's like, they opened up the tumor on my head, and it was my twin.
Is that the moment that spurred it?
Kind of.
Or
We were like, oh my
before that
God.
movie, like,
Is that
you
a
had
thing? Is that a
questions?
thing? And then we got really into it. We're like, oh my God, that's it.
Okay. Blame my big fat Greek.
Oh God, there was this horror movie that came out last year or 2 years ago or something. Okay, Malignant.
Yeah.
And the whole. And
Oh my God, the backwards run in that movie is the funniest thing I've ever
And
seen.
I swear to God, because we Googled parasitic twins so much, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And so we're watching this movie, and my husband's like, I don't know what's going on. And I said, I bet you $1 million fucking she's got a parasitic twin. And he's like, what even is that?
You're like, well, sir,
like, well,
you pull up
actually-
the PowerPoint presentation that you guys made in college.
Well, actually, I got my minor in parasitic twins. And by the end of it, I was like, I told you it was a parasitic twin.
No. So Felipe, my friend Felipe and I used to watch that together. And for like a solid 6 months, I would just run at him like the backwards guy and like post it on Instagram on Pop Culture Junkies. So you can see it. It's one of the funniest scenes of cinema ever, so unintentionally. It's supposed to be like the scariest part of the movie, but the way that the thing is running, because it's like the parasitic twin is in the back of the
Spoiler.
head. Yeah.
Spoiler.
No, I mean, you don't want to watch it. So
I loved that movie.
I
thought it was amazing.
Because you like a parasitic twin.
Yeah, I
like
love
Creed.
Put in the comments if you have a parasitic twin. I'm not even kidding. Like, please.
No, but
Olivia, what have you been watching?
yeah, we'll move on from that one, so we don't get canceled.
Too late.
So I don't know if either of you have watched this, but have you seen the Risa Tisa Who the F Did I Marry series on TikTok?
Okay, I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
Same.
Okay, so it is a 55-part series on TikTok. This woman is an incredible storyteller, though, and like you feel like you're like hearing the craziest story you've ever heard from like your best friend. So it is like, even though it is like, it's collectively like 8 hours, I would recommend if you watch it on 2x speed, so it's more like 4 hours.
Oh my God.
But I'll basically give you a synopsis of what happened. So this woman, it's called Who the F Did I Marry? And she starts it and she's basically like, I want to tell this story for anyone who has been through a similar situation, is with someone who's similar to this person, and like just warn you and advise you. And she starts it off with this kind of warning, and you're like, okay, what do you mean? And she's like, this is the story of how I ended up marrying like an absolute pathological liar.
So, yeah,
and
like
not just like a
narcissist.
liar, but like one of the craziest lying stories I've ever heard in my entire life. And so this woman meets this man. It's like March 1st, 2020, and they meet on a dating app. And
so right before shutdown.
Yeah, so right before shutdown. So like take yourself back to March 2020.
I don't want to.
And yeah, like right before, like we're like, oh, okay, this thing called COVID exists, like what's gonna happen? And so they set up a date at the Cheesecake Factory, and they're going to the Cheesecake Factory. And she's on the way there. They live in Atlanta, and her tire blows. And so her tire blows, and she's like, hey, like, I'm not going to make it to this date or whatever. And he's like, where are you? I'll come help you. Like, helps her change the tire, takes her to, like, get the donut replaced, and buys her tire.
Okay.
And so they're like, on this first date, he's basically like, yeah, I'm looking for marriage. I'm like a district manager. I just moved here.
So
like,
far, so
I'm,
good.
Yeah, like really nice guy, really chivalrous. And so, like, she's like, okay, this guy's like successful. He just moved here, all this stuff. He says that he has a, ex-wife and 2 stepchildren.
Okay.
But like he's still in their life because like he really cares about them and blah blah blah.
So far he's giving green flags.
Yeah, he's giving like, I'm the best person ever. I'm really successful. I have a lot of money. La la la. And so basically what happens is this crazy freaking story about COVID happening, and they're like, oh, how do we start quarantine together? And they're like, oh, well, that's going to be like 2 weeks, so we'll just like stay at my place.
Oh,
and he
no.
comes into her house.
Do you remember when we all thought it was going to be 2 weeks long?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, oh, well, quarantine at my place is going to be 2 weeks. And then like 2 weeks turns into a month because of COVID. And so all this stuff starts happening, and he's like, yeah, I want to buy a house. And they're like, he's like kind of looking at houses, starts trying to buy one. And so in this process, she ends up getting pregnant. And this crazy freaking succession of this guy, like, taking her to buy a house. He's trying to, like, buy her a car. And she thinks she's being, like, swept off of her feet.
Okay.
They're buying a house, so they're buying appliances. They're putting, like, all these deposits
I want to know,
on
when
furniture.
does the ball drop?
All of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, basically, she ends up, they're trying to buy this house, and he is like telling her, oh, I put in an all cash offer on like a $700,000 home. We're like going under everything, and like I'm about to close on this house. And she looks at like the Zillow listing, and it ends up being that the house sold. And she's like, well, I don't think that the house sold. So she like calls this realtor pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we sold it to like this elderly couple, blah, blah, blah. And like it starts this absolute rapid succession of her like finding out this man lied about every single thing, like to the point where.
If you tell me that he cut her tire for her to get the flat tire.
No, that would be absolutely
I would be
crazy.
like,
I don't count it out, but literally, so
that's like some Saltburn shit.
yeah, literally like Saltburn. No, so it, like they're like she's like telling the story, and again, it's like a really long story, and it's very like, oh, you could see how someone could fall for all these lies, and I'm surmising it very greatly, but so she ends up like finding out, like he would be on the phone with his family for like hours in the morning and having these like back and forth conversations. She would find out that he was not on the phone with anyone, and every single morning he would be talking to no one and having these back and forth conversations. He ended up saying that the stepchildren died from COVID. And like had her give him all this money to like help pay for the funeral and all of this stuff. And it's like an absolute crazy story, but that was my big one. And although like a 8-hour TikTok series sounds like a lot, it really, if you watch like the sped up version, it's like 4 hours, but it is some of the craziest storytelling I've ever seen, and it was so good, and I watched it all.
She got out, she's good now.
Yeah, they're divorced now, and like there's a lot of parts in the story, but like he was gonna take her to Europe, and like she ended up being able to pay for this Europe trip that she was supposed to go on, because they're all 10-minute videos, and each video has like 2 million
Oh my
likes.
God. I definitely saw that
Like,
it was
that's not
trending on
even
like BuzzFeed or
views.
something, and I just...
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And then so some random girl took it upon herself to... She doesn't say the name of this person at all. She calls him Legion in it. And some random girl decided to expose to the internet who this man was.
Out this man.
And they're like, literally like, this is dangerous for this guy. Like, this guy is crazy.
Yeah, I guess that's
And he
true.
has like a history of like, he's been to jail and like all the shit that comes out or whatever. And now...
So she shouldn't expose him, but if somebody else does, then...
Yeah, well, no, not even that. Like, now she's unsafe. So it's like, okay, like, she didn't give names for a reason. Like, don't go expose someone for that. But now he has come into the picture. And what's funny is, so, like, at the time, it was, like, 9 days after this video came out, the person exposed him. And he was like, I've been recording with Netflix for the last, like, 16 days to tell my story because she's lying. And we're like, babe, the internet did not know like Netflix. 10 days ago. You couldn't have been with Netflix 16 days ago. So, yeah, I would highly recommend. It's worth it.
Okay, juicy.
Yeah, very, very worth it. But good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Oh, man. The stuff I've been watching is very not like that.
Okay.
I mentioned last week, I believe, that we started the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender show, my husband and I. It's really good. I mean, it's not... The animated series is an incredible anime. It is so beloved by fans, and people hold it so close to them that it's like, in any anime live-action adaptation is going to be full of controversy. I feel like some of them have done a really good job. I really loved the One Piece live-action adaptation. I thought they did a really good job. And then there's other ones like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender movie by M. Night Shyamalan, which was crazy panned and just awful, and like the Dragon Ball Z live action movie, which is just, it's embarrassing for anime fans, right? So this one, I think they're doing a really good job. They've stayed very close to the source material. They've also cast an all Asian cast, which is amazing. I hate it when you watch an anime adaptation and it's a bunch of fucking white people like Scarlett Johansson and Ghost of the Shell. No, that's not it. Sorry. The original character is Japanese. So we've really been enjoying that. I wouldn't say it's, perfect, but it's, I think, the best adaptation that we've gotten so far of the live action or of the original anime. And then Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. This is the one that I told you guys about last week, where it's been like a 10-year gap between the last episode. So we've been watching a lot more of that. And this is fucking nuts. This anime is going so hard. The animation is so violent and over the top and detailed. And I
It's
just...
like Kill Bill-esque.
Oh my God. They're like melting people's skin off of their bones and just... over the top. Every episode we'll finish it. And we realize it's because we've spent so long with these characters and we've already watched hundreds of episodes of Bleach that you get to know these characters. And now we're in this new season, and I guess spoilers for anime fans listening, they kill off like main characters that we've liked for 400, 500 episodes. And all of a sudden we're at the last, like the end of it, and we're like, did he just fucking die? Did they just kill him? Like,
is that like a story where like it's gonna be like The Walking Dead, where like Glenn's dead, but like he comes back and then they kill him again?
no, I know what you mean. A lot of anime shows do that, where it's like a lot of shows, oh my God, Yusuke died. Just kidding,
Yeah.
he's back. Especially if it's the main character. Like in Dragon Ball Z, Goku dies a million times, but he's always wished back with the Dragon Balls. This one, it seems like this is kind of the swan song for the anime. So when they kill off like certain characters, it does seem like that's gonna hold. It like holds more kind of gravitas to it.
Yeah. I always feel like if it's the death not worthy of a main character, like it's not like super dramatic, they're gonna come back.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you can tell, like, is the series, especially if it's an anime, and it's the same with like comic books a lot too, or in different iterations in different universes, certain characters die, but in the parallel universe, they're still alive. Kind of like Gamora coming back from Guardians of the Galaxy to be in the third movie. It's past Gamora and she's still alive and we yoinked her. But
yeah, where it's like multiverse. Yeah.
This one, it seems like are actually dead. So we've been really enjoying that. And then, totally different from either of those, we've been watching Next Level Chef. Yes.
It was a jump.
I know. I am a nuanced woman.
Yeah,
And I have
there you
layers. Like an ogre and an onion.
I'm an onion.
I'm an onion. I have layers.
And I'm making waffles.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles. So, Next Level Chef is amazing. Gordon Ramsay. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that.
I've never heard of him.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's Gordon Ramsay. And there's like 3 levels. And if they suck, both stop making fun of me right next to
You
me.
didn't hear what she said.
No.
I know, I said I've never heard of him.
Who, Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So he's this real angry British guy. He's not as angry as he used to be.
Yeah,
No, he's
because he's getting old.
I guess, like, he doesn't say fuck as much.
Well,
He doesn't call anyone an idiot sandwich.
that is iconic.
Literally.
That was so funny.
He's very patient and kind.
Okay, describe the levels.
So there's the basement level where they get like shit cooking supplies.
Okay.
And then the mid level, which is like a basic kitchen. And then the top level is like a 5-star Michelin kitchen.
Okay.
And each week, the teams move between the different levels of each.
Do you have to like win a challenge
Yes.
to get to? Okay.
You win the challenge.
Yes.
Yes, Olivia, yes.
I'm
You
super
go up in the
passionate.
elevator. Yes. If you do good, you go up in the elevator. You can go to the next
Is
level.
it the elevator that does it for you?
No, you have to
Oh.
earn the elevator ride. God,
Okay.
you just don't.
I don't.
You earn the elevator ride during your challenges. If you do good, you get to move up to the next level. If you do bad, you have to cook in the basement. Sometimes the power goes out. Sometimes you don't have a spatula because it's been melted in a mysterious fire.
Oh.
They give you, it looks like the producers went to like Goodwill and bought like cooking supplies there
Okay.
for the basement.
Okay.
Then you have to make your way out of the basement.
Uh-huh.
Next level
Real
chef.
Sounds like they've been
bootstrap
kidnapped.
effort.
They might be being held against their will. So I'm
for
watching
them.
this show about a group of people trapped in a basement by Gordon Ramsay.
So maybe he has like a different type of bad.
Gordon Ramsay types.
Now he's just passive aggressively being mean to people.
He's
putting them
really
in the
polite to
basement.
them. Maybe this is a fanfic that I'm watching.
Yeah, I think
reading.
so. What in the Wattpad?
Oh my god! I bet you anything there's Gordon Ramsay fanfic out there, though.
We should read one.
Okay. New episode idea. We're gonna read Gordon Ramsay fanfic,
Oh yes. Okay.
but we have to do it in
Stay
a British
tuned.
accent.
Stay tuned.
Okay. So there's this trope in movies that I've been enjoying a lot lately called Good for Her. I saw a meme from Arrested Development, and it's Lucille Bluth. And I kind of just send it to my friends and stuff when it's like, woman goes crazy and stabs ex-boyfriend. And then we'll jokingly send each other memes that are like, good for her. Or woman gets revenge on cheating husband who stole dog. Good for her. Sometimes it's a little morally ambiguous. So this week we're going into a deep dive of what good for her kind of means in films. So it's not really recognized as a movie genre in a traditional sense. It's more of a colloquial phrase that actually originated from the movie Showgirls, where one girl hurts herself and is being carted away from the strip club. And one of her coworkers goes, good for her, because she made it out of the strip club job, I guess. Over time, it's been used in various contexts to kind of celebrate female characters who take control of their own destinies. They exact revenge against those who have wronged them, sometimes through bloodshed, sometimes through just mind tricks. They often defy societal norms, expectations, leading to their own empowerment and liberation of some form. They might not constitute a specific genre, but a lot of them are kind of thrillers, horror movies. They are comedies, like we're going to talk about a little bit. Examples that the audience might kind of know of when we say things like good for her films are Thelma and Louise or Gone Girl, Promising Young Woman. So I want to talk about good for her films that we've all been watching and why we are happy for said her. So who wants to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start with whenever I think of the good for her genre, and I would probably say, like, especially when I think of good for her, I think of like horror thriller, kind of like revenge. So I don't know what that says about me.
I mean, same. Like, they're doing things that are kind of morally questionable.
Yeah, I love a morally gray man or woman.
Yes.
We do not judge here. But I do think about the movie Hard Candy. And so Hard Candy is a movie directed by David Slade. And it has Elliot Page in it. And I cannot remember the other guy's name. He's also in Insidious.
He's the guy from Insidious.
Yeah, whatever
He's
his
so
name
handsome.
is. But basically, so the plot of the movie, and kind of a little synopsis on it, is it's a psychological thriller that follows a 14-year-old girl named Haley Stark who meets a 32-year-old photographer, and she actually suspects him to be a pedophile. And so she goes into this story kind of like thinking that he is a creep and is trying to essentially catch him and like trying to hook up with a 14-year-old girl.
And also Patrick Wilson is the Hottie McHot.
Patrick Wilson. Yes,
Patrick
yes.
Wilson.
So he is, I don't know if I'd say Hottie McHot, 32-year-old.
Okay, well, not in this film. The actor himself.
Yes, he is actually
The actor is a
hot.
Hottie McHot. His character
yes.
is a creepy McCreep.
Yeah, creepy McCreep.
There it is.
Yes. So, no, this movie is one of the most disturbing thriller movies I've probably ever seen.
It's super fucking
in my entire life.
disturbing.
It has stuck with me.
It's
for
amazing.
So long, but basically, so I just gave you the synopsis. You can obviously infer the details there, but there is a scene in this movie where she thinks he's a pedophile. And so what she does is she like ties this man up and puts him to a table, and she convinces him that she is going to castrate him, and is like basically pulls up a YouTube video of like what she's about to do to him, and she like numbs his balls.
Yes.
And so he can't feel anything.
But she makes it him think that he's, spoiler for Hard Candy and Five Boys One.
It's came out in 2005, so,
Yeah.
worth
She
it.
projects, the YouTube video to him, so it's it makes it look like this is a live view of what's happening to him. She numbs his balls, so he thinks he's watching his own surgery.
He thinks he's watching it, and she numbs his balls, so she doesn't actually cut them off.
No.
But she makes him think that she castrated him,
Yeah.
and it is, you think in the moment, she is about to do that, and it's just, one of the, craziest parts of cinema I've ever seen.
It's
Elliot
incredible.
Page, he does amazing in it. He is the 14-year-old girl in the movie, and it just is I think it really encapsulates a lot of good for her comes with this insane trauma of this moment happened to them, so they're reacting and moving into this is a good for her reaction. Oh well, a lot of crazy stuff happened to this woman, and so she's kind of reacting in this way.
A lot of them are kind of based around revenge. Something has happened to them physically. I mean, trigger warning for this episode, sexual assault is involved in a lot of these good for her scenarios. Or emotionally, she's been cheated on, she's been wronged in some way, and she's getting her fucking revenge against people who have wronged her. And sometimes it's a little morally gray.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. I love Hard Candy. That was one of the first movies I watched with my husband when we first started dating, and I'm not sure what that says about us.
I know.
Along with Teeth.
For Elliot Page to go from Juno to Hard Candy was such a hard left turn.
Dude, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he really
that
is.
whole filmography has been A+.
Yeah.
Nicole, yours are totally different than that. And I love it. I love that we're covering the entire arc of Good for Her.
Yes.
My first one is John Tucker Must Die.
I love that movie.
I do too.
Brittany Snow, Ashanti.
Right?
Yes.
Ashanti.
It has such a great cast.
Oh my God. It's like that dream I had with Nicole and Ashanti.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where you guys hosted Peloton together.
Yeah.
It was for this
I would
moment.
love that.
Oh my God. I had
Ashanti,
this
if you're
dream that
listening.
Nicole was a Peloton instructor with Ashanti, and they were both ripped out of their minds, 6 packs. It was so good.
It wasn't a dream.
It wasn't a dream. It was a wet dream. Jeez.
Anyway.
It was leading up to this moment.
Yes, it was. Anyways, my one movie is John Tucker Must Die. Has Jesse Metcalfe, who plays John Tucker himself.
So hot.
Brittany Snow, who plays Kate. Ashanti, who plays Heather. Ariel Kebble,
Yeah,
Cable?
that was
Cable?
her name. I was wondering.
who plays Carrie. And Sophia Bush, who plays Beth.
That's right.
And then Jenny McCarthy is the
Jenny
mom.
McCarthy, who plays Lori, who is Kate's mom.
Yeah.
And basically the backstory of John Tucker Must Die is 3 girls, everyone but Kate. It's just easier to say it that way. All are dating John Tucker, but none of them know that they're dating John Tucker because he's in his basketball season. And the story that he tells these girls is that it's basketball season. My dad tells me that I can't have a girlfriend, but you making an exception that I can have a girlfriend. because
You're
different.
special.
And Kate
But
is
just keep it a secret.
exactly. And Kate's a server at a restaurant, and John brings every single girl that he's dating to the same restaurant, and Kate's the server to every single date. And I'm like, John, you don't realize that this girl is the same server, and she's not going to snitch on you? But anyway.
Dude, when I worked at my last bar job, there was a guy there who's a regular who would bring a different girl.
Yes. Yes.
And I was always like, they would leave and I'd see him the next day and I'd be like, so,
That's so funny.
how was that? He's like, you know, she's great.
You know.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
good time.
You slide dog.
Yeah.
Then the girls, they all get detention together, and they all realize that Kate kind of makes it known that John is dating all 3 of these
Yeah.
girls at the same time. They all get mad. They all make a pact to kind of basically say that John Tucker must die. And they do all these things to make him embarrassed, get him to kind of
To give him
out
estrogen.
himself. Yes. And
They say that he has an STD. This
Yes.
movie maybe didn't
Yeah, it's
age
very
the
problematic,
best
yeah.
in hindsight.
They make him wear a thong.
yes, but then
Yeah.
it all backfires on them because all the girls are like, John, that was so humble of you to do that.
Oh my
I
God.
love that. So in a way, it kind of backfired on them.
Mhm.
But honestly, good for all of them. They wanted to out a cheating man, which, yes, queens.
Yeah, that
Yes.
may be the only situation where we will actually say in real life, good for her.
Yes,
Um,
that is true. In a lot of these, like,
It's my Risa Tisa.
yeah, in a lot of these, if one of us was doing this, we would go, oh my God, girl, you need to maybe don't murder anyone else.
Yes.
Maybe that body that you're hanging on a meat hook, take it down. We got to call the police.
Yep.
Got to call the police. This one, I think we could all be on board for. This is okay. This is okay.
Yeah, I'll accept it. I'll accept it. You know?
No, I love that movie. I remember
too. It's a
liking it a lot as a
classic.
teenager, and Jesse Metcalf is so fine.
Yeah, does he still do it for you? Or did he just do it
Oh,
for
I
you
don't
back
know.
then?
I don't know what he looks like now.
I
That's
mean,
a great
he still
question.
kind of looks like it, but like puffier. Like, he
I mean,
looks
isn't that all of us?
similar.
Isn't that being in your 30s and
Yeah,
40s?
he's in a...
You're still pretty cute, but you're a little puffier.
I mean, he's still kind of cute.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, still. Are you kidding
Let
me?
me see him. He's in like
That's a
yeah. I
handsome
think
man.
that's a face-tuned image.
Yeah,
we're
that looks a
looking at.
little.
I
This is
need-
IMDb pics.
Yeah,
So.
so face.
I mean, my IMDb pics are pretty good too.
Yeah.
No, I would still probably do him. But
Yeah,
we'll,
I mean,
we'll follow up after
catch
the
him
podcast.
in your next Hallmark movie. He's like
Oh
a
my
Hallmark,
God, he-
but
of course he
I
is.
would, if I could pick any Jesse Metcalf, I think I would pick Desperate Housewives Jesse Metcalf. And that
he's
feels
like
a
the
little
pool boy or something,
no, he's
right?
the long guy, and he is 16. So I realize how problematic
Oh.
that is right now. But
I hear the sirens
was-
coming, Olivia.
he was like 24
Not
when he
good
filmed
for her.
it,
Oh,
but
okay,
his
that's fine.
character is like 16 in it. So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is probably
Yeah,
fucked
we're
up,
going to
but
hell.
whatever. My
Good
husband
for
and I,
her.
we'll watch. Good for her. My husband and I will watch things, and then we'll like both pause it and be like, we need to Google how old these people are. Oh, thank God. Okay, we're not.
yeah, the older you
absolute
get, the more you're
assholes.
like,
You watch Euphoria and you're like, okay, wait.
They're
a
all
minute. Let's-
25.
I know, but it still makes me go.
and
we
you're
need to-
just
we
yeah
need
when
to
you're watching
Google
your
this real
sex
fast.
compilations on YouTube, yeah, maybe that makes it weirder.
Oh my! I need to make sure that this is. I'm not gonna.
Oh
I'm already going to hell. I don't need to be
Yeah.
in one of the lower levels.
Or have some memories.
It's like Next Chef Hell.
like level
Which
chef
level
hell.
are you going to be at?
Which level of hell? Were
You
you,
gotta
just?
take the elevator down.
Were you just kind of a fucking slut, or were you looking at underage girls?
Are you
Gordon,
saying-
please. I was just your next level low-key alcoholic. Put me in limbo.
That's the middle kitchen.
Oh, the middle kitchen's a limbo. Yeah, you're just bored. You're just bored. You didn't do anything that bad.
Gosh.
Yeah. There you
Tried
go.
that one drug once.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Oh. She's not listening. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Anyway, speaking of dead people, my next movie is called American Mary. So, American Mary is a movie that's directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, known as the Soska sisters.
Ooh.
It stars Catherine Isabel as Mary Mason. So it's a horror movie about a medical student named Mary who she's in medical school. She's broke as hell, as we all are in college. And she is a very talented student. So she gets kind of drawn into the world of body modification surgery. Things like not your usual, I want horns placed in my head or I want my tongue split. Things like me and my identical twin sister both want to switch one arm with each other. So we're always with each other.
What?
Yeah, that's one of the surgeries that she does. Like, totally next level shit.
Oh, I thought
You
you
know.
were saying that was a normal one.
You know, normal everyday things like belly button piercings, getting your ears gauged, switching your arm with your identical twin sister so you're never apart from each other. Those are the kind of things that she
gosh.
moves into.
Okay.
Because they're
Okay.
underground and they kind of elicit more money. One woman wants to be
That's
turned
the
into
third
like...
level of hell.
That is the third level.
That's-
Hey man,
I think that we're making a fourth.
if they ask for it. So She is, like I said, a medical student. She's going to college for her doctorate program. Trigger warning here. She has a professor that pretends like he sees a lot of talent in her. They end up going to some kind of function together. He sexually assaults her. She goes on to kidnap him and cut off his arms and his legs and his cock and hangs him from a meat hook in her like garage and just slowly tortures this man.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
His little garage.
Yes, he is, baby girl. He is still alive.
Yeah.
So she's collecting money from these underground surgeries that she's doing where people come to her. She's not doing that as, it's like to torture other people.
There's
people,
not like a sign on the side of the road.
So she took her arm, or she's taking arms from other people and putting them on other people?
Oh my God, no.
I'm stuck on the arm.
I know. Can we put a pin in that? On the band and the meat hook. Circle back to the arms. Thank you. You circle back to that. To piggyback off of what Olivia said. Okay, so one of the examples of something she does, it is actually the Saska sisters, and they're identical twin sisters. So
Are they attached?
no, they play two characters.
Or what was the twins?
They're parasitic twins.
They're not parasitic twins. They are separated. And one of the things that they request is to take my arm off. It's like if I want to take off my right arm and Olivia's right arm, and then I put my arm where her arm used to be and her arm where mine used to be.
Okay.
And then now we both still have two arms.
So the main character has that happen to her?
No, she did that.
She performs that.
God
okay, that
damn
was
it.
the question.
She's the surgeon. She's
That was
the
the
surgeon.
question. That was the
she
question.
does
Okay.
surgery on people.
Important distinction.
For money. She
Important
does surgery on people for
Thank you.
money.
Thank you. We can take the pin out of
Okay.
it.
Pan out. She does weird surgery on people. Things that normal body modification artists would not do.
Okay.
That's why it's black market kind of underground weird shit.
I'm
She
literally
does
crying.
it. And in the meantime, she has her sexual assault rapist professor hanging on a meat hook with his arms and he's just a stump. He's just a torso with no cock.
Are they in separate rooms?
Who?
Like the surgeries?
The
in him?
surgeries in the men.
He's in the garage.
Oh, okay. He's in the little
Jesus
garage.
Christ.
I guess I should
Where have
just
you been,
watch the
Olivia?
movie.
She's got the torso hanging in like a meat warehouse or a garage or some shit.
I'm
Olivia's
getting
still
a
on the
mental
arms.
picture.
No one's taking off your arms today.
Okay, thank you. You
Anyway.
kept using me as the example.
I think you should start all the way over.
No.
So
No.
anyway, American Mary is a horror movie. Anyway, good for her. It doesn't turn out too hot for our girl American Mary in the end. She dies in the end.
Aw.
Police catch up with her. She's deceased. But she gets revenge on this disgusting rapist man, and he dies a much more brutal and torturous death than she does.
Yeah.
He's literally
Sounds like it.
dismembered and like
He's a stump.
he's a stump with no cock, and I think she cuts out his tongue or
A
sews up
stump
his
without a
mouth.
stump.
She tortures this man in the way that you go, good for her.
Oh.
Oh, good for her.
We ended saying good for her. Even though she dies?
I think so.
Okay.
Because much like I think one of the movies that you are going to mention, where the character dies in the end, she still enacts her revenge during her life for what happened to her.
Okay.
So I ended the movie being disappointed that she died because I really liked the character. I've cosplayed her at Comic-Con before. But
Did you make Andrew go as a stump?
I cut off my husband's arms and legs and cock. Don't worry, I sewed them back on with my medical degree.
What about the arms?
What about the goddamn arms?
Oh, God.
He watched this movie with me, and I think at the end, a lot of these good for her movies that I've watched with Andrew, like Teeth, American Mary, others that we've mentioned, I always end it and I'm like, hell yeah. And he ends it like this. I gotta go play Call of Duty. I just want you to know that I love you so much.
I do love watching the movie Teeth around
Oh
random
my God,
men.
yes.
Particularly a group of men. If you can like casually suggest that movie,
That's another
in front
good
of a bunch
for
of men.
her. Good
Yeah,
for her.
that is
And
a great good
yes.
for her. That is a great.
I feel
good
like
for
a
her.
lot of kind of like, unfortunately, and I'm not like a huge fan of the genre because I feel like it can be exploitative for sure, but like rape revenge films.
I feel like that's most of good for her, but or
Yeah.
traditional good for her.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like it when rape is used as a plot device in
Yes.
film and in media in order to advance the story of like a male character.
Yeah.
Like in Game of Thrones when Sansa is raped, right? She never really, I mean, she does get her good for her moment with Ramsay, like the dogs attack him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, it felt like such a slow burn to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also kind of done to advance the plot of a man like
Yeah.
Theon. With these movies,
Yeah.
I feel like there's no man whose plot these are advancing. It's only for her and her fucking revenge, right?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Promising Young Woman is such an interesting one because, like, a lot of people go, is Promising Young Woman, like, a good for her movie? Because, like, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, see, she dies in the end, too.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, and if you've never seen Promising Young Woman, it's by the same director as Saltburn. It's a really good movie. But, yeah, it is all around that. Like, it doesn't happen to her, like the, you know, like, rape and sexual assault part. But it really kind of drives her. It's a story of it happens to her friend and no one believes her friend. And then she ends up like taking her own life. And it's kind of the story of like her seeking revenge and retribution. And like, yeah, I think Promising Young Woman is an interesting one because it is so like typical to that plot, but it just really doesn't end well. So you're kind of like, oh crap.
It like subverts those. I like she's doing it on behalf of her friends. Yeah, right. So I feel like these films are feminist in that sense, where even if they are morally gray, it just kind of shows like a female main character with power doesn't always have to be a perfect little pretty princess.
Mm-hmm.
Women can make mistakes. Women can make morally gray choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're always like doing it on behalf of other women too.
Yeah.
So like she's supporting. She goes through that because her friend was the one who was assaulted, and she's still willing to like really sacrifice her life at the end of this movie to like get revenge on these men who did this to her friend. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting and kind of like as we just said, Saltburn, like Emerald Fennell is so good at like the twist, like the subversive twist, where you think the entire movie she's like murdering all of these men. Yeah. That she's like tricking and taking home and doing all this, and it ends up not being the case. But it's really interesting and a great, good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her.
Not dying, but good for her.
Yeah, don't die, but
and she doesn't end up murdering people, so she also good for her.
There's no meat on stumps.
Yeah,
no arms,
no stumpies,
no arms removed.
Stumps.
No stumpy mixed.
I gotta watch this clearly just to figure out the.
We're gonna watch this movie so you can go. Oh, their arms are trained.
Stay tuned for the notes.
All right, Nicole.
My next one is very unlike both of those.
Oh, yes. Are there any meat stumps?
No.
Just, what's his name? He is a meat stump, the boyfriend.
Oh, he's just a meat stump personified.
What's his name?
Warner.
Yeah, Warner is a meat stump. Yeah.
And if you couldn't guess it by now, my next movie is Legally Blonde.
That is a good for her that we support in society.
Absolutely. She gets her revenge.
Yes. If you don't know what Legally Blonde is,
welcome
I
to
don't know where
the
you've
future.
been living.
She goes to law school. There you go. Yeah.
She's your typical sorority girl who has the perfect boyfriend. It's literally Barbie and Ken.
Mm-hmm.
If you could picture Barbie and Ken, this is those two. And Warner goes off to Harvard to go to law school because that's just his family's dynamic. That's what his whole family did.
East Coast money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. And they go on a date before he goes off, and Elle thinks that who's played by Reese Witherspoon, thinks that this is where he's going to propose, and he ends up breaking it off, and she doesn't know why, but then she's getting her nails and hair done at a salon, and she realizes it's because he wants someone that is going to be smart and successful in life, and this triggers something in her, this flips a switch in her that she needs to go to law school because she wants to end up with Warner. And then when she gets to law school,
so she gets into Harvard.
Yes, she gets into Harvard.
Like it's hard.
And her submission video is hilarious. She's in her bikini.
Yeah.
And the panel is all white men.
Oh, of
And
course.
they're like, well, we've never had someone like this before. And I'm like, you know what?
We should let her in.
Exactly.
Good for her.
Exactly.
I bet you
Use
anything,
those
though,
assets.
there was some really hot women at Harvard who watched this movie and are like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Reese.
Thanks, cool.
Love that.
So then they're on campus, and she runs into Warner, and he is shocked. He's like, what are you doing here? And she goes, I go here. He goes, you go where? Harvard. Harvard Law. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
And then
Like, it's hard.
he's engaged to someone else.
Selma Blair.
Who we love.
I love her.
We
Well,
love Selma.
Not in that
Not in the-
character, but
yeah,
I
not-
do love
we don't
Selma
love-
she's
Blair.
been a little weird lately.
love Selma,
but
but she
overall,
has
I've liked her.
MS.
Well, anyways, Vivian is who Warner is engaged to,
Mhm.
and this makes Elle very mad. She ends up becoming super duper smart and becoming a lawyer and the valedictorian of the class, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, she's very smart and is very successful, and Vivian and Warner end up not being together because Warner is a jerk who is not
Yeah.
actually very smart.
He's a meat stump.
Well,
So honestly-
and he tries to get back with Elle.
Yes.
And just shows his true colors.
See, like, Ella's been smart the whole time.
Yeah.
And she starts by thinking, I have to go to Harvard to win this man back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's her initial reason for going to Harvard. And then she realizes, oh, fuck, I'm actually really smart. And my whole life, people have kind of talked down to me
Yeah.
something like that.
because I'm pretty and because of the way I look.
Yeah.
And they don't expect a lot out of me.
Yeah.
And she realizes she really loves it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a
Yeah.
really good for her movie because
I
it's
do
like
too.
she goes into it trying to get revenge or win him back.
Yeah.
And then she ends up getting like the revenge.
Yeah, I think it's like the girl bossification, like before we got there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can do anything, you know?
That a
like,
boy can
yeah,
do.
but that movie, like, spurred a lot of millennials to be like, yeah, like, I'm gonna have my glow up. I don't need a man.
Hashtag girl boss.
Yeah, no, I have like, one of my best friends. She is a very blonde, wears all pink, is a lawyer, like Elle Woods.
Love
like,
it.
Shaped her, and I think she did that for a lot of millennial
Yes.
women.
Absolutely. Just to realize, like, imagine that. You can be pretty
You
and
can like
smart.
fashion and smart.
You
Yeah,
can be
what a crazy-
multi-dimensional and multifaceted.
Yeah, what a crazy time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a good movie. It's a classic.
It is.
Switching back to bodies. This is one of the most popular, I think, kind of good for her films of the past maybe 10 years. And it's Midsommar. So Midsommar is directed by Ari Aster. It follows a young woman named Dani, who is played by Florence Pugh. Always amazing. Always does with that iconic frowny face. God, I love her so much. She travels with her boyfriend and his friends to a Swedish village to attend a midsummer festival. It kind of starts out being this idyllic kind of, oh, everyone's wearing white and frolicking in the grass. And the movie takes place in a village where it's always daytime, which really subverts kind of those horror tropes that the danger comes at night because it's the middle of the day and the sun's out and old people are leaping to their deaths in this movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of Hereditary.
Exactly, yes.
Same director.
So I really resonated a lot with this movie, and I think I've mentioned it before on the show, but Dani is going through a life tragedy where her mother dies, her father dies. I think her sibling or her sister
yeah.
kills them
Yeah, it
with
commits
like a murder-suicide. Yeah.
Femicide. Yeah.
Yes.
Families.
So her sister completes suicide, also kills the parents with carbon
Like,
monoxide.
yeah, like runs a pipe. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing. It's like,
So Dani is dating this man and is in college, and all of his friends are kind of like, oh, fuck
He's a
her.
fuckboy. Yeah.
And this reminds me so much of myself in college, in my college boyfriend, because my mother had just died, and my boyfriend was just like this guy with his friends being like, Shauna sucks. She's boring.
She's
dumb,
sad.
or, she's so sad all the time. It's so weird. I don't know why she'd be so sad. I'm like, not like I went through the greatest tragedy of my life or anything. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe we should do keg stands.
yeah.
Which is exactly what this vibe is in this movie, right? His friends are like, Dani sucks. She ends up getting invited along on this trip and really kind of finds her place in her family in this village. Like, she ends up being the spring queen.
May Queen.
The May Queen, yeah. And they put, the flower crown on her and that iconic flower dress. And spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen Midsommar, please see it. It's iconic.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But her boyfriend ends up cheating on her during some kind of psychedelic trance. And then
Yeah.
they sacrifice him. All of his friends have been killed at this
Yeah.
point. They sacrifice him by putting him inside of a bear. Hashtag justice for the bear. Hashtag good for bear. And put him inside of the bear corpse and then light this like building on fire with him still alive
Mm-hmm.
but unable to move inside of the bear.
I think I probably would have done it.
Oh, for sure. That's right. They tell her, they give her the option like, you can choose a random person in this village or you can choose him.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't
does
show her like pointing. It just kind of cuts to like
Him burning.
him in
Yeah.
a bear suit.
It is good.
And the last scene of the movie is her watching this, and she's got her whole flower ensemble on, and this smile slowly creeps up her face. And
Yeah.
all you can say is, God, good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
God, this guy was such a piece of shit. And again, it's morally ambiguous. Like, if
Yeah.
one of your boyfriends was treating you like this, I might not be like, girl, you should burn
Well, you should
him
put him in a bear
fucking
suit.
bear
Light him
suit.
on fire.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, have you thought about like murdering him in like a ritualistic parasite fire? I'd be like,
Have you thought about joining a cult in Sweden?
she want to join a Swedish cult
Let's
with me?
murder
I'd
him
love that
together.
journey for you.
I actually would love that journey for us.
We all three of us would hashtag kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hashtag slay.
Hashtag slay girl boss.
Swedish slay.
We would be amazing at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know about the chopping of the arms off, but I would light someone on fire. So that's my good for her
Well,
stance.
she chopped off their arms in that other movie, and it was consensual. They
She cut
wanted
off
their arms chopped off.
and
They
then she cut
wanted
off
their
their
arms chopped
legs.
off. The guy who she put on the meat stump, that wasn't consensual. That was
Yeah.
revenge.
Yeah.
This, like, he gaslights her so hard through this whole movie. The whole movie is so just anxiety riddled because you're just screaming at the screen, like, girl, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. He's
What's the eyebrow guy from We're the Millers? What's
oh
his
my
name?
God, Will
He's
Poulter.
in it. Yeah, Will Poulter's
He's
in
so
it.
hot now.
Yeah.
The eyebrow guy.
Yeah.
You guys are getting paid for this?
He literally is eyebrow guy.
He's
Like,
so
that's-
fine
that's
now,
his
though.
name.
Oh,
But he
my
still
God.
has the eyebrows, and I can't. I can't go
His
past it.
eyebrows are more.
He's much
chill.
better looking now because he's
He's got like a
but,
beard and a
he's-
body.
He still needs some eyebrow shaping, and just putting it out there.
Will
if-
Poulter, call me. I like them.
Will, if you're listening, I will pluck your eyebrows, and then we can do it.
And then we can do it. I'll do you as you are.
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her.
Good for Shauna.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love that. For you.
But no, I love this movie trope. If anybody listening has other good examples, another one of my favorites is The Witch with Anna Taylor-Joy. Like we
Yeah.
said, Thelma and Louise, Kill Bill, Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gone Girl
Yes.
is like the iconic one, and like Amy really kind of like led to that, and like I can like see myself. Like, I wouldn't like fake my own death and frame my husband, but like her cool girl monologue,
Yeah,
everybody like
dude.
related to that and was like,
She's
okay.
driving away. She's like,
I wouldn't do it, but good
good for her.
Good
That's
for
it.
her. Yeah.
I think that's an important distinction with a lot of these too. I wouldn't do it, but good for her. That's the journey she's on.
They are a cautionary tale.
Good for
to scare
her.
men, and maybe we'll threaten the next man and say, "Don't make you Mr. Stumpy.
Don't make me meat stump you. Don't make me
I'll
John
swap
Tucker
your
must
arms
die
with your
you.
sibling."
That's
You better watch
consensual
out.
arm swapping. They asked for it.
All right. Well, I gotta go watch this movie.
Oh my
Expect next
God.
week a full breakdown
Please,
of the arm.
please. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up another Pop Culture Junkie episode. This was amazing. Good for us.
Good for us.
Good for us.
We did it, y'all.
Nicole and Olivia, where can the listeners find you on social media?
You can find me, Nicole, on Instagram and TikTok at Nicole_Eldridge, and good for her.
You can find me, Olivia, on Instagram at Livy Maries, LIVIMARIEZ, or on TikTok at Live Yo Life 420.
You can find me, Shauna, on Instagram and TikTok at Shauna Trinidad, ShaunATrinidad. You can find the Pop Culture Junkie podcast social media links on our website, which is popculturejunkie.com. From there, you can find our podcast on all platforms. Give us the gift that keeps on giving, which is subscribing, following, giving us those delicious 5-star ratings, telling us good for them. They're doing this podcast journey. We love that journey for these bitches. Please keep listening and come back next week for another hit of pop culture.
Pop Culture Junkie is part of the Pop Culture Entertainment Network.